Hey folks, Frank Zorrilla here. Zor Capital, the 3rd of December. We're going to go over, what we do every single week, which is go over the top 200 momentum names here in the market. I don't talk much about the market because the market is in an uptrend. It's been in an uptrend. Nothing has mattered so far. Any of your concerns, whether Trump, high volume sell-offs, nothing has mattered so far. The market continues to trend higher, and the way the market is working right now, we have nothing to worry about for the most part. If as far as the S&P is concerned, unless we start seeing a pattern of lower highs and lower lows, or having these one-day sell-offs have some type of follow-through. So what I'm going to go through is go through the top 200 names from a swing trader's perspective, and what we're trying to do is very simply, we're trying to take advantage of the market structure. Market stocks move in momentum bursts that might last 4 to 5 days. Small cap companies with small float, depending on market conditions, might rise anywhere between 5 to 20% in a matter of 4 to 5 days, or even 8 to 40%, depending on if you catch a hot stock or a hot sector. But for the most part, what we're looking to do is take advantage of that market structure, and this is all within the core portfolio of core holdings, which is the S&P 500, IWM, and also the QQQs. I am not a believer in swinging your entire account. You should have some core holdings, and my core holdings happen to be the indices. So we're going to go through these names. Let's see if we can find something that's actionable for tomorrow. Okay, I do this every single day, so I have a daily watch list. I'm not looking for stocks that are holding well. I'm looking for stocks that are actually actionable, where we can put a buy stop and a sell order, a sell stop immediately. All right, so let's go through the list. Mara, this is one of these stocks that, by the way, that did well due to whatever Bitcoin blockchain. I think you should have all these stocks on the list because I don't think it's over. And I think that all these names, whether it's Mara, Riot, XNet, Grow, SRAX, GCAP, I think that at one point before year end, they're going to come into play again. So I think you should keep them on the list. And I do believe that the stocks that went down the least from this big gap that they had that Monday are probably the ones that have a real business. So keep that in mind. OPHC, this looks okay, but needs more time. XNet, here's another one that went up on the Bitcoin play, but it went down 50%. Riot, same thing, went up huge, but down 50%. Mark, see that here is Mark. Mark is a stock that went up big and it's holding up well. I have this stock flagged. It needs more time. It needs to contract a little bit more because the daily movements are way too high. We're talking about a low of 815 and 974. This is just too wide for me. SRAX, here's another stock that did well in that Bitcoin week, which was Thanksgiving week. It's holding up okay. It just needs more time. Here's an example of something we got involved last week. The stock had a big move on some speculation, traded sideways, goes down for 3 days in a row. We had a buy stop going to 311, goes up whatever it was, 25% in one day. When you get these type of moves, 25%, you got to take them. Even though I'm a believer that stocks move in momentum burst 4 to 5 days, you get a 25% move in one day, you got to take a big chunk out. Grow is something that we played a few times right over here. Took it for a 60% move, I believe. We bought back all of it right over here. Took it for a big move. I like this stock as a blockchain play, but unlike many of the other names, this stock has a real business. They've been around for a long time, and they do some real revenues. This is one that's definitely on my list that I sold all of it right over here on these 2 days, but I want to buy it back. I like this play as a blockchain Bitcoin play. And another thing is that as we go through this list, you're not going to find many household names. You're just not going to find them because for the most part in the short term, the only thing that matters in the short term is momentum and some mean reversion. If your time frame is less than 21 days, earnings don't matter, sales growth don't matter. All that does, very simply, within that time frame is make you feel comfortable buying something that has numbers or a story behind it. PANL looks okay, going through 457, stop, at 410. This looks okay. A lot of times what I do is I try to find out why the stock, made such a big move. But I like this stock as a trade going through 457, stop loss, $4.10, $4. ANAP, here's another story that we got involved. Stock made a big move, consolidated, went sideways. These yellow arrows are pretty much when I bought the stock. As you can see, like I said, mean reversion and momentum is what works in the short term for the most part. And you can see this pattern here, down 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, lower highs, lower highs. The buy stop will be above this level. And what you're looking to do is, a little change of character. The stock goes here for 20 to 25 days, prints an inside day, which is a candle where the high, today's high is lower than yesterday's high, and today's low is higher than yesterday's low. These type of candles to me are significant under this type of context. This context is a stock that goes up huge based on some type of news announcements, and as you can see, it trades sideways. When you have a stock that goes from call it here, 20, 35 to 70 overnight, and there's no selling, relative speaking, whatsoever, all that tells you very simply that institutions are involved and they want the stock. They don't want to let it go lower. And then you get this consolidation that lasts for 20 to 25 days, and you get these it starts to tighten up at the very end of this move here. You get this inside day, and that typically these narrow candles typically tell you that the stock is ready to move again. Overstock is another example. Goes up big on some type of blockchain business. It goes sideways for 10 to 15 days. It prints an inside day here. We got involved going through this side right over here, and this yellow arrow right over here. So this is the way stocks move for the most part, where they're going to make a big move. You don't want to chase. You want to wait for the consolidation. Even if you're buying the stock here at the high here, $30, I think there's a big difference in the risk-reward basis buying this stock at 30 here and buying it at the same price here. And the reason why, here you would have to give it all the way down to $24.70, and the stock would still do nothing wrong. Where here, at this tight candle, you can see that you can give it to this low, which is $27.58. It's a better risk-reward trade. This is another blockchain digital coin business. This went down a lot, actually. But it should be on your list for this month. Zine is another example where a stock goes up 100%, trades sideways. We got involved right over here. What you want to see is within these type of setups, you want to see tightness. And again, all that means very simply that you got huge buyers that took the stock here to these levels. These are not retail guys. These are institutions. You can see the volume, traded huge volume. And here they are in no rush whatsoever to take profits at all. They're not going to chase, but they're not taking profits, and they wait as much as possible. And then once they need to buy back the stock or buy enough stock, then that's when it takes off again. And here you see a stock that, we got involved here at 10.03, goes up 30% in a matter of a couple of days, and that's exactly what you want to take advantage of. And if you're buying it tight and you're swing trading, your volatility more than likely, could remain really low. And anyone can do this. All you want to do is you want to, if your time frame is less than, whatever it is, less than 21 days, not based on what you wish, but based on your actual trading, then what you want to do is you want to narrow down the universe of stocks and look at the highest momentum names, the stocks that are up the most in the last 3 to 6 months, and then look for setups there. This stock looks okay. MRTX, biotech stock, up big, did a secondary offering, and unlike every other biotech stock, they ate up the secondary offer and took the stock higher right away. It's been flagging. We got involved right over here. The stock moved immediately, but it sold off, but it still looks okay. Even if it goes through 1770, I think it's a decent buy with a stop at Friday's low. ECYT is another name that looks good. Big, just take a look at this for example, for a second. This stock was trading 200,000 shares, 400,000 shares, 500,000 shares. News comes out and the stock trades 55 million shares. The next day it trades 61 million shares, and the stock has been trading sideways ever since. We are involved in the name. I like the stock. We're long at 498, I believe. The stock has been having a hard time going through 5.25, but if it does, look out. And if you take the stock back to a weekly chart, this is what IBD calls a high tide flag, which is a stock that goes up 80 to 120% in a matter of 5 to 8 weeks, goes sideways for 3 to 5 weeks, and doesn't correct more than 25%. And that's exactly what this stock has done. And you can see that whoever bought here this huge volume, 150 million shares, they are in no rush to sell as of yet. So that's a positive sign. SSC is another stock that was a stock of the week, and if you're not subscribed to the stock of the week research, I think you should. We nailed this stock. 920 right over here, along with Grow. Had a huge move. We sold here from 225 all the way. I think I got an average sell price of 404. I sold some at 490, 480. This stock hit $5 pre-market. This is somewhat of a Bitcoin play as well, a Chinese play. I'm I'm looking to buy it back right over here somewhere. And as a matter of fact, I'm looking to write a little newsletter today for this Zorrilla research, guys, which is free, about the Bitcoin plays, because I think they're going to come into play again this month, at the end of the month. SQ might have been the first name here. We're 100 stocks in, and SQ might have been the first name here that's a recognizable name, and that's because in the short term, what moves the most in the short term are pretty much not your household names. All these stocks, for the most part, are under 20. They have low float, and they're not very well known. SPPI, here's another one. We're long the stock in 1985 because it went through this high here. I think this is still actionable going through 1995, and stop right over here at 1880, 1870. This is another stock that had a big move on some type of major announcement, and the buyers who bought this here are in no rush to sell. And what we want is very simply, we want them to get antsy again, to buy more, and that's when we want to get involved. OLED, it's okay. I'm looking for stocks again that have been consolidating, showing some type of tight pattern, and I want to buy when the tightness is coming to an end and on the first mover is showing some type of range expansion. Here's another one, ZGNX. We're long the stock. These yellow arrows is pretty much when we went long. Big move, stock more than doubles, and there's no rush to sell. We've been involved. We got involved here, and again, this is all mean reversion or momentum. Okay, stock goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. We take the first update that goes to the previous day high. Here we added, stock goes down 3 days in a row. We take the first update where the stock goes to the previous day high. And what we want is, in the best scenario would be for this thing to go 1, 2, 3, 4, to go up immediately. That's typically the best scenario. So we want to get involved on the first day of that momentum burst. Doesn't always work that way, but that's what we want. We don't want to chase. You want to save money in trading? Don't chase. Keep your emotions in check. Cure, this is another, if you go back to the weekly, it's another high tide flag. Stock doubles, has been trading sideways. These yellow arrows is pretty much when we got involved. Again, down 3 days in a row, inside day. Went through this high, that's where we got involved, 10 cents above this high. We got involved here again, 10 cents above this high, and then it sets up again, and it was on our list here. The stock still looks good. And if you wanted to do this on your own, you can just, again, rank the stocks based on the best performing stocks in the last 6 months, and you want tightness or you want some type of mean reversion play like this. This looks okay also. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3, 6 days in a row. If the buy stop is $4 away, that's just way too much for me. But you know, that's something that you want to look for. Here's another example. I know we read a lot of books in regards to trading that you should only buy stocks near 52-week highs. Stocks in the short term move from highs, lows, middle. That's just the bottom line. And if you study the biggest winners within your time frame, okay, what's happening now, not what happened in 1990 or in 1920 with Jesse Livermore, what's happening now, you'll notice that stocks move from up, down, sideways. Sure, if you buy something at a 52-week high, do you have any sellers? No, for the most part, but it doesn't mean that these stocks don't move. You know, here was like a 20-25% move. Here was like a 20% move. These stocks, they move. Again, what you want to do is just take advantage of the market structure. This stock looks okay. Feng going through $6.31. Stop. You can put a $6.77. You can put a stop right over here at $6.20. Here's exactly the way what I'm talking about. That stock goes up big on earnings. It trades sideways for all these days. And look at the tightness here at the very end, okay? Here's an inside day. We got involved right over here on 9/13, long at 477, right over here, and the stock makes a big move, and then it goes sideways again, and we tried buying it a few times here, but it did not work out. But now it's setting up again as well, and I like the stock going through 677 with a stop at 620 for tomorrow. All right, so we're 200 stocks in. So in summary, as far as the market is concerned, it became a headline market the last couple of days due to the tax bill and whatever's happening with Flynn. So we saw some volatility for the first time. But again, none of these concerns, North Korea, Trump, has bothered or mattered to the market as of yet. So with that being said, I think that unless we start getting a pattern of lower highs and lower lows, or selling that actually follows through for a couple of days, there's really nothing to be concerned about if you only own the S&P 500, the Dow, or the QQQs. When it comes to individual stocks, it's a totally different story. You know, these stocks move a lot more than the market. As far as swing trading is concerned, what you want to do is take advantage of the market structure. Stocks move in momentum bursts, and in the short term, nothing really matters except momentum and mean reversion. So trade them well and be well. If you haven't subscribed to Zorrilla Research, tonight I'm going to write a list of the crypto names with a small brief story of what I think about each one and which one I like the most. So I'm going to try to put the link at the bottom of the video. If not, just go to my profile, you'll find it. Be well, have a great week.